The gentleman from Oregon, Mr. Bentz, is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Olsen, for being here today. Is your department purchasing data from third parties and then using that data for investigatory purposes?
So the National Security Division, what I lead, does not engage in purchasing data. So the answer to your question in terms of the work that I do is no, we're not involved in purchasing.
What about other aspects, other agencies, parts of the department?
So I can't speak across the board in answer to that question, Congressman. I can say in general that, in terms of carrying out its National Security Division, the investigative agencies within the Justice Department, the FBI, and others operate under a series of rules and laws that protect American citizens' privacy and civil liberties.
Stop. They're purchasing data, and they're trying to follow the law, but they do it. I've heard, and to quote Secretary Mayorkas speaking to the Aspen Security Forum just last week, he said, "Look, the border is secure." Do you agree with the border? Our border is secure?
I'm not familiar with his remarks at that conference.
Well, just take it from me. I'm quoting. This is his remark. I simply want to know if you agree: is our southern border secure?
So I would defer to the Secretary of Homeland Security and in his judgment on that question.
And so that means your department has nothing to do with the border. Is that what you're saying?
And we certainly are involved in the investigation and prosecution of crimes around the borders of the country. But in terms of the overall border security,
given the incredible number of folks coming across and the number of prosecutions, you perhaps would surmise or maybe guess or hint at the fact that the southern border is not secure. You wouldn't be down there if it was. Is that correct?
We certainly are involved in making sure that individuals who violate federal law are investigated and prosecuted.
And there's a bunch of them. Let's go. There's a great deal of hyperbole about what's our greatest threat. We hear a lot about domestic violence. But I've read that the FBI thinks that China's the greatest threat. Who is the greatest threat, in your opinion? Or is that just the wrong way to approach this?
Honestly, sir, I think that's probably the wrong question to ask. I think we have a number of significant threats, and we need to make sure that our efforts and authorities and resources are aligned commensurate with the threats we face.
On October 21st, the Attorney General appeared before this committee, and I asked him if he would please focus on a situation occurring down in my state, Oregon, Southern Oregon, where we've had a very significant number of very, very large, excuse me, and extremely wealthy cartels from all around the world move in to start raising incredible amounts of marijuana. The numbers are in the billions of dollars retail value of that which is being raised in Southern Oregon. And I asked the Attorney General if he would please help, if he would please send additional folks to Oregon to try to stop what's going on. And part of it involves the theft of immense amounts of water. We're in an incredible drought, and we have these cartels come. People might laugh at that out here where there's nothing but water, but not back where I'm from. And then the fact that people are carrying AK-47s into grocery stores, the fact that there are people being locked into their homes as cartels move huge amounts of marijuana out of the state. What's your department doing to try to head off this threat?
So what you described sounds extremely concerning. I don't have, obviously, firsthand knowledge, and in fact, the National Security Division, typically wouldn't be involved in what you're describing, which sounds like what would be handled by our criminal division in terms of drug or weapons violations. So I would probably have to ask the criminal division and our legislative affairs office respond to that question.
I think it's safe to say that the cartels are making billions of dollars and using that in turn to bring in all kinds of drugs that are killing up to upwards of 100,000 people a year. And you would think that would fit within your mission statement, which I have right here in front of me, which is to protect the United States, carry out the department's highest priority to protect and defend the United States against the full range of national security threats. This would appear to me to be one. Would you disagree?
I think the way we've divided up responsibility within the Justice Department is that our federal narcotics laws and weapons laws are by and large enforced by other parts of the Justice Department.
Well, would you be so kind as to reach out to those other parts and tell them that we in Oregon need help, and the situation, in my opinion, is one that rises to a national level, given the fact that marijuana is being sold right on the streets here in Washington, D.C. And thank you again for being here, and look forward to your helping us out here in Oregon.
Understood. Thank you.
I yield back.
The gentleman yields back.